Hey, how you doing? I'm gonna try to play this broken, not great game for a little bit. See how it streams. So I disabled my e-course to try to play this. I don't think this game is really worth doing that, but it only took like a minute to do, so I'm kind of like, whatever. I'll try it. I'm probably gonna need to learn how to do it later anyway, so like that much I'll take. It's good to see people calling out this game though, like mentioning its good parts, but like actually actively talking about the stuff that sucks. I feel like this game had a very short honeymoon period. People are kind of already a little bit annoyed with it. Hopefully it'll get better later on. I'm sure it will. I just get bothered when people say you can't compare it to Neo 2. It's like, yes you can. This is the sixth game like this that they've made. You expect there to be some consistency. And like actual improvements. Just because it's not Neo 3 doesn't mean you can't compare it. This really is the third one that they've made. Not the third one, but the sixth game that they've made like this. It's no different than Call of Duty. They've made like a million of those. They have like different people working on them. It's like, yeah, you can still compare them. It might not be the same people. They're not like always like direct sequels, but where's the fortitude rank? Because the morale system in this game sucks. I don't really care about playing this legit. I don't think this game's worth it. Alright, I think once they start patching this game, it'll probably be a lot better. It's just in a really rough state. I actually think Stranger in Paradise is quite a bit better than this game. I'll go ahead and say that right now. I think Stranger in Paradise is better than this game. But to be fair, Stranger in Paradise also had, like, wasn't that great when it first came out either, so I think that much should be said, at least. How you doing today? was very tired. I decided I'll fit in an afternoon stream because I do need to try to stream more and raise some funds. So I have like very little, very little to work with for my trip. Luckily, the bills and stuff and the train ticket and everything is paid for. It's mostly just the expenses for the weekend, like food and travel. I'm gonna have to take Uber a couple times and everything. Like that's the main thing that I really need help with right now. So I should probably stream a little bit more. Make a serious effort to raise a little bit more funds. I just hate when people criticize this game and then they say that it's not Nioh 2. It's like, yes, it's not Nioh 2. It's not. It never was supposed to be. And it's okay that it's different. The problem is that this is the 6th game like this that they've made, and in a lot of ways, this game is worse than Nioh 1, which was the first one. They've made 6 games like this. There's Nioh 1, and then Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 came out, and then a couple months after that was Nioh 2. And then they did Stranger of Paradise and Wo Long. So yeah, like 5 or 6 games. You expect there to be some consistency. That's the problem. Not that it's not Nioh 2. It's clear that they wanted to do something different with it, and there's nothing wrong with that, but the double standards are weird. It's like... People do that with Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, I think, too. Like, Call of Duty is the same thing. They have, like, 3 different studios working on those. Like, yeah, it's not the exact same people like people think making it. But still, you can compare them. It's okay to compare them. The state that this game is in is really weird, honestly. Oops. I'm gonna go back and finish more Stranger of Paradise. Probably after I finish this game. Probably go play that more. I find that game more enjoyable than this.
同志様から怒られて竹林に隠れたりして、そんな時はいつも迎えに。ごめん、なんでもないの。行こうか。気を引き締めて。
I don't even think I really make content for this. Probably make a review for it. I'll make a written review in my community post. I just don't feel like exerting a lot of effort into this game. I don't think it's worth it. I want to make my money back on buying this game. I'll probably just check out the DLC. So generally, like, way less people do the DLC for these games than at launch. At launch, there's like a lot of people, but then once the months pass and the DLC drops, there's like very few people still even caring. So I'm not really too concerned about it. Just gotta finish this game before then. I'm hearing a lot of really bad things about the end game. Seems even worse than all their other games. They're generally pretty bad at launch. This one seems to be the worst by far. People are playing through the entire game again and only getting like 4 rare items, 5-star items and graces. Why even bother playing at that point? You're clearly not respecting your time. Wanting you to play the game again, and then like not even giving you like adequate rewards for or a point for doing so. Hello, how you doing? Playing this disappointing game with cheats because I don't want to be frustrated playing something I don't like that much. Well, I got the game to work, so I figured I'd try it. The first boss actually is not that bad, but I feel like the first boss is weird to be that difficult for like an average person that hasn't played these games before. People are refunding because of the boss. Really weird. I get that you want to teach people the mechanics, but with refunds and stuff, you want to make people feel good about playing. You don't want them to feel intimidated by the game, like... You don't want to make them feel intimidated about the game and they've been playing for like 20 minutes. Nah, I'm not gonna say anything toxic. It is a difficult boss, but it feels like a weird skill check because like none of the other action RPGs like this that they've made, none of the first bosses are that difficult. None of them. That is definitely the hardest one. Onryoki is up there, yes. But, yeah, that definitely is the hardest boss that they've ever done. First boss. Like, intro boss. I don't fault anybody for refunding. You don't want to be that frustrated in, like, the first hour of gameplay. It's like, yeah, it's probably a good idea to refund. There's no harm in that. I hear people hate this boss, and I'm not really even paying attention, so I'm not getting upset. No, I don't care about the RE4 remake. I'm tired of Resident Evil. I'm tired of Resident Evil. I'm sick of that franchise. I'll watch people play it. I'm not interested. I don't really feel that game needs to be remade. I hope it delivers for people. I hope it's the game people want it to be. But remaking a game like that is a huge task. I hope that they'll be able to deliver, but I kind of have my doubts. Yeah, I think that game needs a remake more. They're in a weird spot with the remakes, because they've made, like, 2 really good ones. Like, the first one that was on GameCube. That's, like, definitely a really good remake. And then the Resident Evil 2 remake is pretty good as well. But then the third one, they outsourced that game, and they cut out, like, a ton of content, so it doesn't really replace the original. And it's weird because Resident Evil 3 was already, like, basically an asset flip game. Anybody who says otherwise hasn't, like, looked at that game since they were a kid. Basically an asset flip game. Like, they wanted another Resident Evil game out, but they didn't want to wait for PS2. They didn't want to spend a lot of money, so go through a lot of the same locations. It's very much like a old school asset flip. That's what's weird about the 3 remake. It's already, like, a much smaller game than 2, and they asset flipped a lot of it. But then, like, they couldn't even remake all of that. They had to cut things out. But I think they were working on that game in conjunction with 2, because it came out pretty shortly after the 2 remake, didn't it? Her track record with remakes is pretty good, but I heard the third one was, like, really cut down. Which is weird, because it was already, like, less of a game. I remember when... I never played that game myself, but I had I had a friend in middle school who had it. I had a friend in middle school who had it, and a lot of it was recycled. Did I uninstall after the first boss? No, I uninstalled after the second level. And it wasn't anything pertaining to the difficulty. The bad port was what did it. The first boss only took me like 10-15 minutes. He's not that hard. The problem with the first boss is it's just this massive skill check in like the first half hour. You can't expect people to be on board getting frustrated at a boss in like the literal first level of the game, I think. Masochists like that stuff, normal people do not. A very weird decision to make the first boss like this huge skill check. In the first like 20 minutes of the game, with 2 forms and everything, like, you have to understand the mechanics to get past it. I'm gonna stop playing this. It's actually not running very well. I'll be right back. I'm gonna turn my E-cores back on. It's making the computer hotter. I'm a little bit concerned. I'll be right back.